Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. Alrighty, so first off, hi, if you're new, my name is Olivia, and I just moved into college, so yeah, I am currently at Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, and I am a film major, so that's where I currently am because this is a lot different and kind of a mess right now. I wanted to apologize if you can hear some like construction because they're currently working on my building right now, which is super convenient for me. But yeah, so that if you hear like drilling or whatever, that's what that is. So I am making this video for a pretty special reason to me. If you look back on my channel or on this channel right here, Live Chronicles, it's the one where I was posting all my health content. A year ago today, I had my gastric stimulator surgery for my gastroparesis. And needless to say, that surgery changed my entire life. So I wanted to make a little video talking about it. Also pretty interesting timing because August is Gastroparesis Awareness Month. And unfortunately, when this video goes up, it's gonna be over. But that doesn't mean that we should stop spreading awareness for this condition just because the month is over. It's a very impactful condition to myself and many others, and there is no cure for it. I'll leave some links in the description below. Anyway, so I do hope to have a better filming setup. I do have some really great windows in front of me, so I'm trying to use some natural light. And I can show you guys that, like I'll do a room tour in another video, but I do have some very nice natural light, just not the best way to set up my camera and everything, so you kind of get the mess. So on September 1st, 2020, I went in and I had my first gastric stimulator put in and placed. And what a gastric stimulator is it's basically like a pacemaker for your heart, except it's for your stomach. So it has a little box, and I'll like move over here and put some pictures up as I explain it. So it's basically a little box that gets put into a pocket on your stomach, and it has two electrodes that go into your stomach wall, and through those electrodes it provides stimulation. So basically little electric shocks that help your stomach digest and break down the food and move it into your intestines, which is difficult for somebody with gastroparesis. I'm a part of a clinical research study for this device, so not many people have it, not many surgeries have been done with it, and I think there's only a few hospitals in the country that does the surgery. I could be wrong, but ever since I got one, I've been noticing more and more people getting it, and honestly, like, that's great because it really did change my life for the better. So I just kind of wanted to reflect in this video. I've been sick for about 5 years. It'll be 5 years on my birthday. What a way to celebrate. So I was officially diagnosed in June or July in 2020, but it had been an ongoing process for a few years. It just took finding the right team and the right testing and getting it diagnosed. I found the most wonderful team at my hospital back home, and they were great. Like right away, he knew exactly what he was gonna do to try to treat it, and he brought up the stimulator to me, and I was skeptical, obviously, but I did it and it was great. So basically how it worked is I did a trial period, so I'll put in a picture here. I had 2 trial wires placed. They were basically 2 wires that went in my nose, down to my stomach, and they basically had 4 ends that clipped into different parts of my stomach, and the actual stimulator that's currently in my body was outside my body in a bag. So basically what that did is we were able to see if the permanent stimulator would work without having to do the full-on surgery and have risks of it not working then. Those 9 days were pretty much the hardest days ever. The wires were very rigid, so it constantly like irritated my throat and my nose. But overall, like it was necessary and it worked really well. I'll throw in some more pictures of during that trial week. I actually was able to eat pretty much full meals, almost, kind of, not really, because your stomach needs to adjust, but I was able to eat and not be super symptomatic, and I actually cried after eating a bowl of mashed potatoes. There's that picture. So the trial was a success, and I was approved for the permanent surgery. By approved, I mean it was a go with my team. It took 2 rounds through insurance to try to get it approved, and once it was approved, it was like game on, because it was pretty quick after I got approved. The surgery was a laparoscopic surgery with one pretty big incision as well. Trigger warning, I'm gonna include some pictures from my surgery, so if you don't like to see those, I would just skip, and I'll put a little time stamp about like right here where you can skip to. But basically I had 5 incisions. I had 4 little tiny laparoscopic ones and then 1 big one. And that was to place the stimulator. I was admitted one night and things were good, and I went home, and it was honestly the hardest 2 weeks of recovery after that. And it was longer than 2 weeks, but for the first 2 weeks I literally was stuck in bed and couldn't do anything. We had some issues. I was not having the relief I did from the trial, so we were a little concerned. And when I went in for a follow-up about a month later with my GI, we realized that my surgeon never turned it on. And this is where things kind of went a little downhill. My surgeon never turned it on, and the easiest way that he explained it to me is basically when you're putting these things in, there's 2 buttons, and I use air quotes because I don't know if they're actual buttons or not, but basically one turns it on and one finalizes that it's turned on. What he said to me is that she more than likely turned it on, but she never finalized it, which caused a lot of issues. So basically he turned it on. Thankfully he could turn it on without having to operate. The other big issue that I had with mine, and that some other patients that go to my same hospital that have reached out to me have also experienced, is my surgeon placed my stimulator way too low. My stimulator was placed pretty much directly on my hip bone. So every single time I walked, it was like metal to bone, pretty much. Like when your hips shift, it would hit the bone. And it caused a lot of pain for me. So on November 24th, I ended up having to go back in for a relocation surgery, where they basically just made another big incision and just pulled it straight up and put it into a new spot, which is where it should have gone originally. My surgeon's reasoning is that some patients said that when she placed it higher, it would hit their ribs, so she started placing it lower than her colleagues, but honestly, a big mistake. Anyway, besides the point, after that second surgery, I was admitted for 2 nights because we couldn't get pain management under control. We couldn't get pain under control. But when we finally did and I was able to go home, it was a lot quicker recovery at home than the first one, which was surprising to me. And I was pretty much good by the end of the 1 week, and I could walk and be up and mobile. And then it did take like 6 months to really see good results from it, which is a pretty big misconception. What happens is with the trial stimulator, you are on the highest possible setting of that stimulator to see if it'll even remotely help you. When you get the permanent stimulator, you are started out on a very low setting and a very low frequency, because the higher your settings, the quicker the battery dies. And when the battery dies, you'll need another surgery. My pacemaker is currently at the highest setting, one of the highest settings, which is a little scary for me personally, just because like I know things are managed well. There is still a little bit more room to move up in my settings. But it's scary because, like I mentioned before, the higher your settings, the quicker the battery dies. And when the battery dies, it means another surgery. And these surgeries were hands down one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through in my life. They were so painful. The recovery was incredibly difficult. Way more than you expected. You use your abdominal muscles way more than you think you do in everyday life. So when they go in and they really like cut through those, it's painful. With this surgery, it really takes about 6 months to see good results from it. And I will say I had some doubts in the beginning, and so did my mom, and it was a very upsetting time. Trigger warning, I'm gonna talk about weight a little bit. Before I got my stimulator, my weight fluctuated like 15 or 20 pounds, and it was always just a struggle with eating and everything like that because of my stomach. So we really had hope that this stimulator would help, and thankfully after 6 months we really started to see consistent improvement with everything. And that kind of, it's been a year, so it's been a long process. But I was laying in bed last night, and I don't know why it made me think of it, but I remembered that my 1 year is literally 2 days away. And blew my mind a little bit, not gonna lie. Pretty emotional. Don't really know why. I mean, I do know why. Pretty emotional. So I will say I am extremely thankful to have been able to get this surgery and get this stimulator, because it's been miles of difference. I've been able to eat much more than I was before. I will say that like it's been difficult with weight gain because it was something that I didn't really experience for 5 years, so having it all come on very suddenly, it's been a big adjustment. And that's definitely something that I'm still working on, and it's something that's a taboo topic to talk about. Not many people like to talk about like weight gain and weight loss while being chronically ill and things like that. Some people think it makes them less valid, but it's just something that I feel like should be talked about a little bit more. I made a post about it on my Instagram, which is Chronically Live right here, which is my health account on Instagram, if you wanted to go give that a read. But overall, the stimulator was probably one of the best decisions of my health that we could have made. And I'm super thankful for my doctors, and I'm super thankful for the ability to have had this surgery, and it's gotten me to where I am today. 2 years ago, when I was leaving high school, I never thought that I would be able to actually go away to college. My goal was never to go to a community college. I never wanted to. I wanted to go straight to a 4-year, but my health was just so bad I could not leave home, so I ended up at a community college for 2 years, which honestly was fine. I got a bunch of my classes done, and now I'm in a place where my health is pretty well managed. I'm still getting hydration for my POTS, whole other topic, but other than that, it's pretty well managed, and it's gotten me to school, so it's a celebration, and I'm gonna be able to celebrate me getting here and my anniversary while I'm here. I've been trying to figure out what day I actually really want to celebrate this anniversary on, because September 1st is when I first got it placed, but then November 24th is when my last surgery was done. But I think I'm going to celebrate on the 1st, because that's kind of like the milestone, I guess. Anyway, I just wanted to pop on here and kind of make a little video tribute to my stimulator and my little 1-year anniversary to that. It's definitely been a long road, and I still have many more to go. Wouldn't trade it for the world. If I had to go back to not having a stimulator, I don't know what my quality of life would be. So I'm just very thankful and very excited to see where I'll be able to go with this. So happy 1 year to me. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I would like to get back to regularly posting on here. I think my posting schedule might be Monday, Friday. Again, I am at school and it's very rigorous, so I'm not sure how much free time I'm actually gonna have to do YouTube videos. But please send me video suggestions. I ask for them all the time on my Instagram, or you can leave them in the comments, or you can DM me on Instagram a video suggestion, because honestly, I'm open for anything, medical content or not, because I'm much more than that. But I did just want to make this video as kind of like a little commemorate video on here for my 1 year. And I'm gonna link the video down below of my surgery vlog and my other surgery videos. Subscribe and stay a while if you would like to, not gonna force you. And give this video a big thumbs up. Yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye.